What's going on, everybody? So I seen the preview for this movie pop up on my Instagram last night. Somebody tagged me in it, called The Book of Clarence. First thing that I saw is that Jay-Z is involved in it, all right? And so the guy who's directing it, he also worked on a music video, Legacy, for, I think, Jay-Z's album 444, right? So him and Jay-Z are working together on this movie, right? You've got Black Hebrew, I guess Israelites. You got a Black Jesus in the movie. And so, I play the trailer right here. You can see it, but pretty much they have this guy, right? And he sees Jesus, right? And he sees Jesus rise to fame. And he says, you know what? He's sitting there with his homeboy, and they see Jesus like, man, you can't even buy power like that. He says, I want to be like that in 10 years. Then he says, well, I want to be like that now. So then he hatches this plan, right? Where he's going to make people believe he's some kind of Messiah. So he has his homeboy play blind, right? And he miraculously heals him. Then they show the money that's coming in. He says, knowledge is stronger than belief. A lot of real subtle things. And I just think it's so interesting, right? How people, they don't want to see this kind of stuff. You think it's just entertainment. Now, guess what? They're going to get probably some of the best writers and things like that, make it real funny, make it real appealing, get people's curiosity going. But it's demonic. It's the same thing they do with the music. They get the best beats and you're hypnotized by the beat. What is their obsession, with Christianity, Jesus? Now, Jay-Z's nickname, Hov, is actually short for Jehovah. It's a play on word. He claims to be, the God of rap. He has this obsession with being God. One of his lines, he says, Jesus turned water to wine. For Hov, it just took a stove. And then his wife, Beyonce, has said, I took the pages of the holy book and I plugged my you-know-what at that time of the month, right? So there's this obsession, right, with being God, right? Coming for God. So I want to be like that in 10 years. So I don't know if this is like some kind of they're trying to do some artsy way of representing how Jay-Z really feels. And Jay-Z is that character because he has this obsession with wanting to be godlike. But remember, this is exactly what Satan wanted to do. He wanted God's spot, right? And so, at the end of the clip, they have the Romans arrest him and they're like, we're going to expose Clarence, have him walk on water. And, you see it in the clip. Now, also, Jay-Z has this museum that's being, I guess, over the summer at some point in time it opened, right? And it's called the Book of Hov. Now, remember, he calls himself, it's a play on Jehovah, right? So the Book of God is essentially what it's saying. And I looked up this thing that I think it was Revolt, the website. They said on December 4th marks Sean Corey Carter's 48th birthday. So we scrolled through and dug up 48 Psalms from the Book of Hov to not only reiterate his penchant for delivering the truth, but also celebrate the significance of his endurance of the words. And then it goes through 40 scriptures, right? Quotes from his music. Look, I'm not going to make this a long video, but you got to realize that there are demonic antichrist spirit from the beginning of time. Satan wanted to ascend and be like God. And Jay-Z clearly wants to do that. Beyonce, these people, they clearly want to do that. They want to be gods. They think that they're some kind of gods. And they just got this obsession with Christianity. Now, I want you to quickly notice in these images, it's laid out kind of like the Temple of Solomon. You see the pillars. This is all a mockery of Christianity, right? It looks like a open Bible page, has his own quotes on there, got the pillars with the little golden symbols, almost like the cherubim, like the angels going off to the side, right? You see the little pride flag in the corner, of course. Hey, you better be careful. They're just getting more bold with it, and it's truly demonic, and it's a sign we're living in the end times. I mean, why don't you make a Muslim film, right? Mocking whatever they got going on. Talking about that. It's always Christianity. It's always Jesus. Why? Because there's only one God. And that's why everybody is trying to come at his head. If you understand what I'm saying. That's why they're always taking his name in vain. That's why at the LGBTQ parade, you always see them talking about a gay Jesus, right? And Christians, and what's so sad is Christians will sit there and listen to the music, think it's not demonic, think it's not Antichrist. Antichrist is anything that goes against God's will, God's order. The Bible talks about the gods of this world. You better wake up. You better pay attention. The gods of this world have blinded them. All right. The spirit of the Antichrist is already moving in the earth. Jesus says, you know not what spirit you're of. You could be under the influences of these lowercase g gods, these wrong spirits. All right. People, we argue about, well, can you sell your soul to the devil? You can come into covenant with the devil just like Eve did. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to come into agreement with that. And look what happens. You go support these kind of movies, you go support that kind of music, you're coming into covenant with what they're saying, and you're opening doors for witchcraft. You're opening doors for demonic forces. Make no mistake about it. Jay-Z, Beyonce, a lot of these artists are under some kind of demonic influence. Just like when Satan presented himself to Jesus, he says, I'll give you this, right? I'll give you the fame, give you these cities if you just bow to me. And that's what a lot of these people have done. In this lifetime, right? I'm gonna come into covenant with Satan because all souls belong to God, right? But just like with Eve, right? And he was tricking her and all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing. Satan comes to people and says, if you come into covenant with me, you push this kind of music, you do this, I'm gonna give you all this fame, I'm gonna give you all this wealth, I'm gonna give you all this sex, all this money, all these houses, all of this stuff. He's the prince of the air, airplay. That's why one of the biggest ways that Satan gets his message across, and he gets that deception across through the music, through the entertainment, through the media, through the news. Jesus saying, let this mind be in you, but you got the mind of the world. Why? Because of the media. Yeah, this too deep for some of y'all, because people don't want to hear it because you like it. You like your music because you like being entertained. You like watching these kind of movies because it's all funny. It's not funny. This is why, guess what? He says, the Bible says you got to die to your flesh. They try to appeal to your flesh through music, through media, through movies, through comedy. And you just think it's just entertainment. It's demonic. And you let your guard down, you're going to be in trouble. This man got a whole, idol exhibit built to him. You see it says BLM right there in the middle. I told you guys that Black Lives Matter is kingdom over culture. God made everybody, right? And it don't matter what race you are. He no respecter of person, right? The Bible applies to you. You can be victorious. You can be an overcomer. Anytime you start putting culture over kingdom, hey, it's an idol. I'm telling you, it's all wrapped up. You see it in the movie. Without a vision, the people perish. They're trying to give you a vision. Let's put the black Jesus, the black Hebrew Israelites. Let's build the Book of Hov and the Black Lives Matter. They worship, the black goddesses, tap back into our African culture. They stripped, our real religion, and they stripped the truth. And we're the original man, and we've got the best genes, and we've got, you be careful with that stuff. Idol worship. Go to www.marcusrogersministries.org if you want to support what we're doing here in Chicago. Go stream the Case of Grace album. Love you guys. Be blessed. Be encouraged in Jesus.